Well, guys, free agency is here, and we are seeing some fireworks to start off. And guys, we haven't even hit February 1st yet because this is just the start of a whole bunch of stuff that happened. Now, guys, breaking news, though this actually happened like a couple hours ago, but I was at church, so I didn't get to make a video right away. But I am making a video now because we got a major trade to talk about. And it is a trade that is involving three teams. It is a 3-team trade between the Aces, the Sparks, and the Storm. And I'm going to talk about what happened. And I'm going to also talk about the winners and the losers right now. Now, let's go to ESPN for the report. Though I will just say, guys, that Annie Costabile from the Chicago Sun-Times has continued to hit bullseyes after bullseyes after bullseyes. Because, guys, here's the thing. Here is the absolute thing. Annie told us, yesterday, that this was going to happen? She said that there was reports about a 3-team trade that would feature the Aces and the Storm, right? For Jewell Loyd and Kelsey Plum. She said this, yesterday, right? And then we get the report today from ESPN. Literally, while I was sitting in church, I got a buzz on my Apple Watch, and I looked at it, and it was ESPN talking about the trade that was happening. I was like, what? Didn't Annie just tell us this yesterday? And now it's officially official. But anyway, here's the news, guys. We're gonna get into it right now. Let's go to ESPN.com for the report. All right, and it says, sources say, Jewell Loyd to the Aces, Kelsey Plum to the Sparks. I'm not sure why there's a random Indiana Fever video here, but it is. And this is from Alexa Philippou. Says the first domino in WNBA free agency fell Sunday, and it was a massive one. Massive one indeed, Alexa. Like this was crazy. Let's make this a little bit bigger. All right. In a blockbuster 3-team trade, the Las Vegas Aces acquired Seattle Storm guard Jewell Loyd and sent Aces guard Kelsey Plum to the Los Angeles Sparks, sources told ESPN on Sunday. The Storm acquired the number 2 pick in the 2025 WNBA draft and forward Lee Yarou from the Sparks, as well as Las Vegas's 2026 first-round pick, sources told ESPN. Los Angeles received the number 9 pick in this year's draft and a 2026 second-round pick from Seattle. The Aces received the number 13th pick in 2025 from the LA Sparks. Now, again, here is the specifics of how it looks. So the Storm kind of get a bounty in this one. They get the number 2 pick, which could end up being Paige Beckers or Flau'jae Johnson. You get Lee Yarou, who is a big that continues to, in my opinion, get better and better and better, right? And you got a first-round pick for next year. Like, it's a huge win for the Seattle Storm. While giving up Jewell Loyd, a player who said she wanted to get out of Dodge, right? Jewell Loyd requested a trade from Seattle after an investigation, that happened. Watch my previous videos for that. Jewell Loyd wanted to be out. So the Seattle Storm, they were in trade now mode. They had to figure something out. And yeah. So anyway, let's continue on with the report. Says the deal will be official on February 1st, sources tell ESPN. It is the first instance in league history of a trade involving multiple number 1 overall picks. Yeah. If you didn't know, Jewell Loyd was the number 1 pick previously. Also, Kelsey Plum was as well. Plum entered the offseason as a free agent, an indication that her time in Las Vegas as part of the championship winning core alongside A'ja Wilson, Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray might be coming to an end. The Aces designated Plum as their core player, so her only way of changing teams was to get traded, but she had to sign off on her final destination, and it seems like she is signing off on going to LA. Jewell Loyd, meanwhile, could not reach free agency until 2026. News of her trade request emerged after allegations of harassment and bullying against Storm coaching staff that prompted an external investigation that did not find any violations, and after that, she requested the trade. The two shooting guards have shared similar trajectories as pros. They were both number one picks. Jewell in 2015 to Seattle, and she played at Notre Dame and was a fantastic player at Notre Dame, and was entered right into the Seattle Storm dynasty of Sue Bird, who was like on her way out of the league, and Brianna Stewart, who was a player who was absolutely reaching her prime. And then Kelsey Plum was drafted to the San Antonio Silver Stars at the time, now the Las Vegas Aces. And she played for Washington, where she was a standout player. Also just got honored at Washington like a week ago. So that is something. They both emerged as WNBA all WNBA talents and perennial All-Stars, each winning 2 championships with their respective franchises. They were Olympic gold medalists in Tokyo, where Loyd played 5-on-5, Kelsey Plum 3-on-3, and they were teammates this past year in Paris when Team USA won their 8th consecutive gold medal. And this just continues on. Let's go to the bottom of this. Loyd's arrival in Las Vegas will help the Aces, who fell short of their three-peat bid last season. A 6-time All-Star and WNBA scoring leader in 2023, Jewell Loyd is another perimeter scoring threat to a team with the 3-time MVP, A'ja Wilson, 3-time All-Star Jackie Young, and 2022 Finals MVP Chelsea Gray. Mr. President continues to bark. I don't know what his issue is, but maybe he's very excited about this trade. I don't know. Maybe Mr. President is very, very excited about this trade. So, guys, let's talk about this news. Let's talk about this news, because to be quite honest with you, I got some winners and losers. And maybe it may be a surprise in terms of which team actually won, which team actually lost. So let's actually get into some discussion. And guys, if y'all have a comment, just put it in the comments. I will try to get to as many as I can. And I will prioritize super chats. All right. So let's talk about this. All right. So again, Jewell Loyd to the Las Vegas Aces, Kelsey Plum to the LA Sparks. So here's the thing. In terms of the winning team who won the most out of this trade, it goes Seattle Storm number 1. They completely won this thing. Number 2 goes to the Las Vegas Aces. And number 3 is the LA Sparks. Now, let's talk about it. So, yes, MJ, I do see your chat. I will be redoing my mock draft. I absolutely will. Be redoing my mock draft. William says, we'll love to see that dog right now. He's just walking around, so he may walk over here, maybe. But right now he is just hanging out, doing whatever he wants to do. But we'll see if he comes over. If y'all could, please make sure to hit that like button. That really does help the channel out a whole lot. Crank That says, giving up the number 2 pick is an overreach. Facts on facts on facts. We're going to get into that because, yeah. LA Sparks, what were you thinking? I think it's wild. I think it's absolutely wild. But let's get into the situation. Okay. So the Seattle Storm, again, Jewell Loyd requested the trade. Jewell Loyd wanted to get out of there. She wanted to get out of Dodge from Seattle, a team that she was rocking with for a long time, right? The team that drafted her, the team that she won championships with, the team that, was given to her after Breanna Stewart left. So when Jewell Loyd first came to the Seattle Storm, this team was Sue Bird's and Breanna Stewart's. That was whose team it was. Sue Bird ends up retiring, and then Breanna Stewart ends up leaving to go to the New York Liberty, and then it was crowned that this team is Jewell Loyd's team. All right. The following year, Jewell Loyd, wins the scoring. She ended up leading the WNBA in scoring the whole year, right? Y'all see Princess. Y'all see Princess? Y'all can kind of see her. Anyway, Jewell Loyd led the WNBA in terms of scoring, but Seattle was trash because all they had was Jewell Loyd. So this past offseason, we saw the Seattle Storm swing for the fences. They end up picking up Skylar Diggins-Smith. They end up getting Nneka Ogwumike, and they were saying, you know what, this is our big three, aka big four. You had Jewell Loyd, you had Ezi Magmagor, who was already on the team. You had Nneka, Skylar. Now you're supposed to make some noise. The Seattle Storm was supposed to make some noise. This team did not really end up the way that we kind of thought it was going to end up. And Jewell Loyd was like, you know what? Nah, I don't like how this is rocking. I'm out of here. Deuces. Send me somewhere else. And they were like, you know what? Okay, you want to go? All right, we gonna get a good package for you. We gonna get a good package, and they indeed did. Again, the number 2 pick in this year's draft to the Seattle Storm. They got Lee Yuru, who is a big that can absolutely come off the bench and make some noise. Also could start every now and then. You also have a first round pick from the Las Vegas Aces in 2026. Now that first round pick wind up being like a number 9 or a number 10 pick in the draft for 2026, but that's still pretty decent, right? That is still pretty decent. So the Seattle Storm, they absolutely won. They absolutely won in this trade. They won. If you need an overall winner, ding ding ding, it is the Seattle Storm. Because you got the number 2 pick in the draft. Now, you're kind of looking pretty smooth. You are looking kind of smooth right now. Second pick for a 1-year deal. Jewell Loyd was only on contract for another year. So you got rid of somebody who didn't want to be there, and you leveraged that up to the number 2 pick in the draft. Come on now. Talk about winning. And then you get an extra first round pick in 2026. They dominated. They absolutely dominated. So shout out to the people who shout out to the people who are in charge in Seattle. Seattle, the way they have leveraged this stuff is crazy. I think we really need to give some love to the see these dogs going crazy. Anyway, I think we really need to give love to the GM of Seattle, because y'all worked y'all magic. Y'all worked y'all magic on this one for sure. And then let's get into the rest. Let's get into everybody else. So, yeah. let's talk about the LA Sparks. Actually, no, let's talk about the Las Vegas Aces first. So the Las Vegas Aces, actually, real quick, we got a super chat. Shout out to Jay Hamlin for the super chat. Says, I love me some Plum, but OMG, what an overplay. The Aces do not need more guards, in my opinion. Seattle robbed LA. Thank you for the great content, Queen. I mean, you're right, Jay Hamlin. You are absolutely right. Seattle did the Seattle Storm absolutely fleeced the LA Sparks. They fleeced them. They fleeced them, guys. They fleeced them. And I don't know how anybody can see this as LA winning, because I just like what? You already had you already have a whole bunch of guards for LA, a whole bunch of guards, and you have Lynn Roberts coming in. She's looking to make this LA Sparks a 3-point primary team. And I think they just was like, you know what? We need a star. And let's get Kelsey Plum in this building, okay? But we gonna talk more about the LA Sparks in just a sec. But the Aces came into this offseason knowing that they kind of had to make a change. I made a video. I made a video when the season was over. I made a video about how the Las Vegas Aces needed to change their change their big three or big four. I said it. I was like, you cannot go into 2025 with Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, A'ja Wilson. Somebody had to go, and in my opinion, that somebody needed to be Kelsey Plum. I talked about that, and got comments, people saying, no, Kelsey Plum ain't going nowhere, yada, yada, yada. Turns out Kelsey Plum is going somewhere. It made the most sense to get rid of Kelsey Plum. That made the most sense, and that is exactly what happened. They had to break it up because this team wanted to come back to being winners, right? You needed to come back to getting to a championship game, and you were not going to get back there with your core four. You had to switch it up, and so they were like, you know what? Let's see what's out there. Oh, Jewell Loyd. Oh, she doesn't want to be on the Seattle Storm. Oh, you want to leave? Oh, Seattle, ring, ring, ring. I think we can make a deal. I think we can make a deal, right? We can absolutely make a deal. We want Jewell Loyd. Let's make something happen. And the Seattle Storm, they were in conversations with some teams. Had brief conversations with the Chicago Sky, and they wanted a lot. The Seattle Storm wanted a whole lot for Jewell Loyd. And the Chicago Sky was like, you know what? Nope. We're not giving you all the stuff you think you want, because we don't think it's worth it for a 1-year rental. But the LA Sparks was like, you know what? We need somebody. We need something happening on our side, right? We got a new coach. We trying to make some noise. We're trying to bring some excitement to LA. And they were all like, okay, let's try to make something happen together. Let's all three of us, let's come together and make something happen. And they did. The Las Vegas Aces ended up picking up Jewell Loyd, which in a lot of ways, it's kind of a like-for-like trade, because Jewell Loyd is a fantastic scorer. So is Kelsey Plum. They're both shooting guards. They're both going to be starters. So I'm kind of like, cool. This is a like-for-like type of thing. You bring in a different vibe, a different player who can just give a little bit of variety to this Las Vegas Aces team. So I think for Vegas, yeah, this was smart. You had to break up the core four. Why not bring somebody in who is also an exceptional scorer? Now, Are these players exactly the same? No. But I do think that Jewell Loyd provides a lot of the stuff that Kelsey Plum provided. Though I will say, I would say Kelsey Plum is a little further ahead than Jewell Loyd. So if I'm talking about number 1 and number 2, yeah, I'm going number 1, Kelsey Plum. Number 2, Jewell Loyd. But it's very close because I think the difference to me that puts Kelsey Plum over Jewell Loyd in terms of my ranking of the two is that Kelsey Plum can play the 1. And I think she could, and she's shown that she could actually do a pretty good job at it. I mean, is she a really great 1? No, but she can absolutely do the job. And so that's why to me that's the bigger separator. In terms of scoring, they can both score, but I think if needed, Kelsey can actually play the 1, and I think that kind of separates them a little bit. But Vegas don't need that. Vegas don't need somebody to play the 1. So I think that they're both very similar players. Las Vegas gets a new person in the mix to add a little bit of variety, and to just see how it works, because you had to make a change. All right. And also, the Aces end up picking up the number 13 pick in the 2025 draft. The Las Vegas Aces do not have a first-round pick, right? They don't have a first-round pick because they lost it because of stuff related to De'Ara Hamby when they were re-signing De'Ara Hamby. Anyway, they violated league guidelines, and they lost the number 1 pick in the 2025 draft. So they don't have one. But now they have the number 13th pick in the draft. So that's pretty good. You're gonna get a good player at that number 13th spot. And so if you are Vegas, you're looking pretty solid, man. You're not looking pretty solid. You're looking very solid if you are the Las Vegas Aces, because not only do you have a chance to get a pretty good rookie coming into this draft, but you also kind of get a like-for-like trade in terms of shooting guard versus shooting guard. So you now have a new starting shooting guard in Jewell Loyd. So I think it's smart. I think it's very, very smart. Again, the Las Vegas Aces won this, is a second place winner in this trade. And then at the bottom, last place, we got the Sparks. So the reason why I have the Sparks at the bottom of this thing is because I actually really don't think this is a good trade for LA. Actually, if I'm LA, there's no way I make this trade. If I am the GM for the LA Sparks, I would never make this trade. Because sure, the LA Sparks end up getting Kelsey Plum. Now, Kelsey Plum is a very good player. 100%. Very good player. She is definitely a streaky scorer, but is someone that you can, that you can use in terms of that second star player on your team. Right? So you get a really, really, really great talent in Kelsey Plum, but you get her for 1 year. You trade away the number 2 pick in the draft, which was likely going to give you Paige Beckers or Flau'jae Johnson or Olivia Miles. That number 2 pick would have turned into one of those two players. And you give that up for Kelsey Plum for 1 year. I don't get it, to be quite honest with you. I really don't. I don't get the trade. And let's walk through. Let's walk through why. Let's walk through why. the Los Angeles Sparks losing this trade has nothing to do with the quality of player that Kelsey Plum is. Kelsey Plum is extremely talented. This has nothing, in my opinion, to do with Kelsey Plum and her talents. Last year she averaged 17.8 points a game, 4.2 assists a game. Really, really good player. Not really good, a really great player in the WNBA. No issue with Kelsey Plum. But here's the thing. Kelsey Plum is cored for 1 year. All right? So she was an unrestricted free agent. She got cored by the Las Vegas Aces. So a core, signing someone on a core contract is a 1 year deal. 1 year max deal. So you have Kelsey Plum for 1 year in LA. Why? Why do you give up the number 2 pick for Kelsey Plum for 1 year? Now you could say, oh, Quita, she can re-sign. Kelsey Plum can re-sign with the Los Angeles Sparks, right? She can re-sign with them in 2026. So yes, they have her for 1 year guaranteed in 2025, but she can resign with them. They're going to treat her so well. She's going to love it, and she's going to resign and stay and finish the rest of her career in LA. Like, you can say that, and maybe that's true. Maybe it's true. But here's the thing. You don't know that. When it comes to the WNBA, I have a very specific way of thinking about trades. All right? When you make a trade like the LA Sparks did, when you give up a lottery pick, in my opinion, you should only be doing it if you're in win now mode. If you're not, why? If you're not in win now mode, why are you doing it? It makes no sense. This is why. The LA Sparks is bad. The LA Sparks were not a really good team last year, right? This is a team that is primarily guard focused. They don't have a awesome roster. They don't. So you go into also, if y'all are curious how bad the LA Sparks were, they won 8 games last year. They won 8 games, lost 32 games. That's the LA Sparks. So you give up. You are in last place, 12th place in 2024. Horrible team in terms of winning. You win 8 games. And because you were so bad, and because you've been bad for a little bit, you were rewarded for your terribleness with the number 2 pick in the draft. And you leverage that number 2 pick. And you wind up with Kelsey Plum on a 1-year rental, the number 9 pick, and a 2nd round pick in 2026. What? Like, I don't see the logic. I do not see the logic in this decision. I don't think it makes any sense. Now, maybe some of y'all disagree with me, and I would love to hear your arguments. But it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. What was the point of being terrible? Of course, LA wasn't trying to tank, but when you're terrible, you are rewarded with a lottery pick. And you give that up for not much. A 1-year deal for Kelsey Plum, even if she resigns, it's still a bad deal because you're not in win now mode. Think about it this way. 2nd pick in the draft, is likely going to get you a future All-Star. Likely going to get you a franchise player. Is going to get you someone who will be on the team for at least 4 years. Because rookies, they're on a 3-year deal with an optional 4-year deal, with an optional 4th year. So that's 4 years that you would be with that player versus 1 year and a hope and a pray that Kelsey Plum returns. Logic, I don't get it. I don't think it makes any sense. Crank that with a super chat. Thank you so much for it. Says what Plum want from Dallas is probably going to what Plum went for Dallas. What Plum went for Dallas is probably going to want a big trade package for Satu now. What happens if they can't agree with a team and still have her? In terms of Costabile, well, she either returns to Dallas for 2025 or she sits out a year. Now, guys, that's happened before. Elena Deladon sat out all of 2024 because she didn't like what the Washington Mystics were doing. They courted her. She said she didn't want to play for the Washington Mystics, and they didn't want to send her wherever she wanted to go, so she sat out. So it's possible that Satu sits out. Is it likely? Probably not. But if they can't get a deal worked out, then yeah, she could sit out. But again, terrible decision for the LA Sparks, in my opinion. Is there anybody? Let me know. Is there anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat that likes this trade for LA? Braden says, I think LA knows they're still in rebuild mode. They'll stay bad and gamble to get Juju in 1 to 2 more years. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe that's what they're doing. But even still, even if they're like, you know what? Yes, we want to be bad for a little bit longer just so we can end up getting Juju. If that's their plan, I'm cool with it. Not really. If I was an LA Sparks fan, I'd actually be really upset. But like I could understand that. But it still doesn't make any sense for this trade. Even if your goal was to be trash for the next 2 years so you can get Juju Watkins. Even if that's your plan, it still doesn't make any sense. Because don't you want, when you get Juju, to have a really, really young core group of players? Then why would you trade your number 2 pick? Why would you trade your number 2 pick? If anything, you would want to make yourself into what the San Antonio Silver Stars, aka the Las Vegas Aces, were. When they were trash for years and years and years, and what did they do? They stacked up picks. In their case, it was number 1 picks. But in the LA Sparks case, it could have been, just general lottery picks. You could have stacked those up. By the time that Juju was available, you could end up getting her, and you can make some noise. If that was the play. I don't know if I think that's the play for the LA Sparks. I don't. But even if that was the play, this still makes no sense, in my opinion. Now, again, this has nothing to do with the talent of Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum is crazy talented. That's not the issue. The issue is what you gave up to get her for 1 year, guaranteed. Makes no sense. Makes no sense, guys. Makes no sense. Finisher 3X with the super chat. Thank you so much. Says Sparks starters is Kelsey, Lexi, Rakia, De'Erica, Cameron Brink. Interesting. I would have. I would have liked to see Olivia Miles possibly on the LA Sparks. I guess LA wanted to wanted a sure thing at the guard spot. Like, I get it to a certain extent. You want to get a scorer, right? You want to get a scorer. You have a new coach coming in who is someone who is very heavily focused on a three-point shot, right? If y'all saw Utah play for the last several years, you all saw the emphasis that Utah had on the three-point shooting, right? It was 3-point shots or paint shots for Lynn Roberts' team in Utah for the last several years. And she gets the head coaching job at the LA Sparks, and she's looking to score. She's looking to shoot threes. She's looking to make some noise. And so from her perspective, it makes sense to get Kelsey Plum. And so I get the logic in terms of trying to get a 3-point shooting player. Someone who's very, very good at the three. I get it. But again, what do you have to give up to get that is the issue. And giving up the number 2 pick in the draft, to me, is a little bit too much. Number 2 pick and the number 13th pick in the draft. You gave up 2 picks for this year. To me, that's a little bit too much. A little bit too much to give up. Thank you so much, Coconut, for the super chat. Says, and if the Aces find any way to sign Atlanta Deladon, wishful thinking. Oh my goodness. If they sign Atlanta Deladon, Las Vegas Aces for the championship. if they wind up signing EDD, that'd be crazy. Crazy, guys. Thank you so much, Albert, for the super chat. Albert says, Los Angeles made a horrendous decision by possibly giving away Olivia Miles, Flausier Johnson, you say and, I say or, Paige Beckers, in this deal for a 1-year rental. This may be the dumbest trade in WNBA history. This is not the dumbest trade in WNBA history. There's been a lot of other not so great trades in WNBA history. If y'all want, I can go over that. I previously did a video where I talked about Dallas changing their strategy. I talked about a terrible trade that Dallas made, in a terrible trade that Dallas made in the past. So there's been a lot of other terrible trades. So like, I understand that like this one is a bad trade, but like the WNBA has a long history, and there's been a long history of like, what was that? Concerning trades that were made, So this is not the worst trade. But this is an exceptionally bad trade, in my opinion. And it just looks a little suspect. It looks a little bit suspect. Because again, it's a 1-year rental. 1-year rental, guys. 1-year rental. Ron, I don't know how to pronounce the rest of it. Ron, thanks so much for the super chat. Says all the high school class of 2020 are paired with an all-star shooting guard. Caitlin is with Kelsey, Cameron Brink, and Rakia is with Plum. Paige has Arike. That's if Dallas drafts Paige number 1. What shooting guard should Chicago get to help Angel? Well, I mean, you had Kennedy Carter, got rid of, like, she's not, didn't want her back. This guy don't have anybody right now. This guy don't have anybody. We'll see what they're able to make shake. We will see what is able to make what's able to take form. All right, so let's get to the rest of y'all comments. Thank y'all so much for the super chats that have come through. Fighting Word says Loyd needed a fresh start. She's going to be firing Vegas. I think this is great for Vegas and great for Jewell Loyd. Like, again, this is a win. This is a W for the Seattle Storm. This is a W for the Aces. The Seattle Storm, because you get those draft picks. the Aces because it's kind of like for like trade, and you get the number 13th pick in the draft. Because to me, even if the Las Vegas Aces only got Jewell Loyd, to me, I still would think it's a positive for the Aces to trade Kelsey Plum and get Jewell Loyd back in return. That's a positive. But to get Jewell Loyd and the number 13th pick in the draft, oh, yeah, you killed. And LA, why did you get rid of the number 13th pick in the draft? It just makes no sense, guys. I don't get it. I don't. So yeah, the Seattle Storm, they're going to have either Paige Beckers or Olivia Miles or Flau'jae Johnson if she ends up going into the draft. You're going to win, right? If you draft a player like Olivia Miles, she's you already have a point guard right now in Skylar Diggins-Smith, so it's more like a plan for the future type of thing. And you got to figure out what you want to do with Nika Mule, because Nika was drafted to the Seattle Storm. She's out for 2025 because she just got hurt a couple months ago overseas. So she won't be playing in this next year, but she's still on the roster, and so you got to figure out eventually what to do with her. So I think it's less likely that the Seattle Storm draft Olivia Miles. I think they could. I don't think it totally makes a lot of sense. I think it makes way more sense to end up getting a Paige Beckers or a Flau'jae. Again, if Flau'jae actually enters the draft, that could be pretty interesting. Du jour, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, congratulations, Quita and Chicago. 10 out of 10, you get Miles now. W for Chicago. Yeah. I do think that this helps to clear up Olivia Miles to Chicago. Like I think it may be in the bag. Can we say it's in the bag? Can we be that confident? I don't know. Can we be that confident? Shout out to the person who just gave a thumbs down. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. It's always kind of fun how I'm like talking, and all of a sudden thumbs down flashes on my screen. But hey, it's engagement, I guess. Maybe you just don't like the trade. I don't know. Maybe you just don't like it. Anyway, that's the news, guys. Again, thank y'all so much for joining me and joining with me and talking about it. Because yeah, I didn't get to talk about it immediately after it happened, but yeah, a couple hours late is not that bad of a thing. But guys, this is just the start. This is just the start, guys. When we talk about free agency, it's a wild ride. It is an absolutely wild ride, guys. And sky's the limit to what remains that we will see. There is still a lot of decisions that teams need to make. A lot of players that need to, have a decision on what's going to happen to them on their teams. Like, are certain players resigning? Will we see more trades? Likely, we will see more trades. What's going to happen? But as of right now, again, the winner of the draft right now, or the winner of the draft, the winner of the free agency period is the Seattle Storm. They continue to just be smart. just be smart and make good decisions. Like, guys, I'm telling you, the people who are running the Seattle Storm are smart people. Very, 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 very smart people. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know a ton else to say. But I just think it's wild. But once again, guys, I gotta say, buckle up, Buttercup. That's my phrase. That's my phrase for the last. I feel like that's my phrase for the last several videos. It's like, buckle up, Buttercup. This is only going to get more wild. Okay, only going to get more wild. And once again, guys, I gotta. Oh, they already made the graphics already. They already made the graphics. We got KP, Rakia Jackson, and Cameron Brink. They already made the graphics, dog. And then Jewell Loyd and Asia Wilson. Like, man. Already. Man, didn't even, like, it took them no time. Took them no time to make graphics already. But yeah, anyway, guys, I just think it's wild. Yeah, man. We'll see ultimately how everything continues to shake out, but it's a wild ride. Hope y'all are ready for it. Because yeah. But I gotta say once again, I gotta give a shout out to the WNBA Woj, who gives us a heads up before stuff even happens. And that's Annie Costabile. Literally, she posted, as I reported yesterday, Jewell Loyd will be with the Aces next season, and Kelsey Plum heading to the LA Sparks as part of a Blockbuster 3-team trade, kicking off WNBA free agency. Like, guys, this is a story we found out about yesterday because Annie told us, before ESPN told us, and now it's official. It's official because ESPN said so. Guys, this will technically not be official until February 1st. And so we will not see, these teams post anything about it because it's not official yet, right? We're not going to see them post anything about it because it's not official until we hit February 1st. Okay? Brayden says Annie has spies everywhere. It's the only explanation. Yeah, dog. I don't know what this lady be doing. She be knowing everything. I'm like, come on, lady. She be knowing everything. You can't have no secret. If you in the WNBA, you cannot have a secret and it not get to Annie Costabile. Like this, she be knowing everything. She be knowing everything. So I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting until tomorrow until she writes some other article that's saying, okay, after this, here's what's gonna happen now. This team is talking to this team and blah blah blah. Like, she gonna tell us, and then we'll find out. And then a day later, 2 days later, or whatever, then ESPN will tell us. But she be knowing everything. I'm just like, dang. I need some sources, man. She be having all the sources. She be having all the sources. Yeah, basically. Since Annie knows all. She does. I don't know how. I don't know how this lady be knowing everything. But she be knowing. She be knowing. She be knowing everything. Kay Jackson says, "Oh, I need to look her up. Never heard of her." Yeah, I mean, follow her on Twitter. Like, literally, that's the. if you need, like, pretty much guarantee information, like, she just knows it. Why? I don't know. She just knows the information. She just knows. All right. Rasa says AT to Indiana. No. Mm-mm. AT to Indiana makes no sense. You all understand, right, that Alyssa Thomas is a point forward, right? So she has the ball in her hands quite a bit. And that's how she's most effective. She's most effective with the ball in her hands, making decisions for her teammates. It would make no sense. It would be a disaster, in my opinion, if AT went to Indiana. Not because of the fan base. I don't think that's an issue. I don't. Right? But because Indiana has Caitlin Clark. Why would you? If you take AT, put her on the Indiana Fever, where she doesn't have the ball in her hands for a lot of the time, like, why? Then AT won't be AT. The greatness of Alyssa Thomas is because of her ability to be the point forward. Why would you make her completely ineffective by having her be on the Indiana Fever? Like, I get it, guys. I get it. I get it that y'all want all the great players in the WNBA. Y'all want all those players to be on the Indiana Fever. I get it. But guys, it actually has to make sense. It actually has to make sense. And I don't think that makes any sense. Diane says AT to Phoenix. I think that could work. I'm just saying that could work. That could work. Now that would require Natasha Cloud to be a little bit less on the ball, which I actually think could work. But then you have a issue of how does that work with Diana Taurasi? If Diana Taurasi retires, DeWanna Bonner returns back to Seattle. AT gets traded to Seattle, or not Seattle, Phoenix. AT gets traded to Phoenix. I think that could work. I think that could be pretty interesting. But it would require Tosh to be less on the ball, and it would likely require Diana to retire, or at least Diana to be cool with AT taking over the team, which your team will be a lot better if AT takes over. So I'm just saying, AT equals Alyssa Thomas. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Braden, for the super chat. Says, oh, I agree with this. Says AT needs to go somewhere where there's 4 3-point shooters around her, like the Laces team, a center like Dolce who can screen, pop, and hit threes. Yeah, she needs to go somewhere. She needs to go somewhere that has shooters. Yes. That's exactly what she needs to do. April says, Quita, is that an unrivaled hoodie you have on? No, it's not. This is a official awesome person of the internet hoodie. You all can actually pick up this hoodie if y'all want at QLSapparel.com. QLSapparel.com. This is the exact hoodie I am wearing. On the back, it has "For the Love of the Game." Y'all can pick that up if y'all want. Again, this is official QLS Apparel. So rock out with me. With this apparel if y'all want. If not, no worries. But yeah, this is not unrivaled. Though I did order a unrivaled box. So I will be having some unrivaled merch coming soon. Okay. All right. Let's see what y'all got in the chat. Neek says, Quita, are you going to talk about North Carolina versus Florida State University game? Yeah, Florida State ended up taking down North Carolina on a last-second shot by Tanaya Latson, the super junior who is continuing to ball in women's college basketball. I actually recorded a video talking about it, but I recorded it earlier, but I didn't have a chance to edit it because I was, game was over. I was like, oh, I got to talk about this. Made a video, and was before I was able to edit it, I actually had to leave to go to church, so I didn't actually put out the video yet. But I did record a video about Tanaya Latson. I do have to add in the clips and edit it and all that stuff, so maybe that will be out tomorrow, hopefully. Tomorrow, well, of course, tomorrow morning, hopefully. So yeah. But y'all, Tanaya Latson was fire. Like, Tanaya Latson, I think at this point, she should solidly be mentioned when we talk about the top 3, top 4 players of the year, national players of the year. I know a lot of people, they want to ignore Florida State. They want to ignore Tanaya Latson because she's not on one of the really, really popular teams, right? But y'all, she got some smoke. She got some smoke for y'all. So anyway, that's what's happening. There was also some other amazing games as well. Vandy, fire, Rutgers got the dub. So I'm just saying, like, it was some great games today. So anyway, that's the news. That is the news, guys. Massive 3-team trade involving the Aces, the Sparks, the Storm. The Storm win that trade for sure. The Aces second place, and down at the bottom is the Sparks. Guys, I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me. If y'all could, make sure to hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button as well. Neek says, why is the media so quiet on her? I assume that's about Tanaya Latson, because the media is huge on getting guaranteed wins, right? It's a guaranteed win when you boost up the popularity of someone who plays at UConn, or somebody who plays on certain, like, very, like, prestigious teams, right? Guys, remember, Kelsey Plum didn't get a lot of attention at Washington until she was basically done with her college career. Like, I was a college basketball fan when Kelsey Plum was doing her thing at Washington. Kelsey Plum she was an elite scorer, elite player in college basketball, but she nowhere near got the attention she would have got if she went to UConn or Tennessee or somewhere else. It's because Tanaya Latson, similar to Kelsey Plum, chose a school that is not ordained by the media, right? Chose a school that is not that great at basketball, at women's basketball, right? And because of that, it gives the media, they would have to work harder for you to even really know who she is. Not because of her talent, but because the games aren't really on TV like that as much on, like, an ESPN or big time team. And so it gives them a reason to just be like, oh no, Paige Beckers just dominated against Paige Beckers and Sarah Strong just had a fantastic game against a not so great team, right? Yeah, and then you could be like, oh, Juju Watkins just scored 40 points against a not so good Big Ten team. Or you can just go down the line of, like, people, the media in large cases, and when I say the media, I primarily mean, the big entities that are very focused on clicks and views. Well, everybody's focused on clicks and views, but, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's harder to get people to watch a video about Tanaya Latson than it is to have them watch the 50th video this week on Caitlin Clark, or Paige or pick somebody, you know? Not because of talent, but because of people's attention and how easy it is to get people to focus on certain things. You know? That's my thing. And that's cool. Like I get why people do it. But you know, it does kind of suck for the coverage of Tania Latson, that people aren't as interested. But she's been rocking out though. She has absolutely been rocking out. So yeah, we'll see. We will see what happens. But again, video coming out about Tania Latson soon. K Jackson says that's why we have Quita, because the media is going to grab low hanging fruit. Quita is going to give the true fans what they want. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But again, I get why the powers that be do what they do, because they want, you know, a lot. They want the masses to rock with them, and covering players that a lot of people that the masses don't know, isn't great for numbers. It's not, unless you're able to sensationalize it and wrap it around Caitlyn or Paige or something like that. Like if you're able to do that, or say, oh, they're going to the Indiana Fever, you know, unless you're able, like that, that's how you're able to get the views. But if you don't do that, you're not as likely. But at the same time, here again, the point of this channel is to grow the game of women's basketball, is to tell stories that matter, tell stories that are important, talk about players who don't get a lot of shine, talk about decisions and whatnot that needs to be analyzed. Like that's the point of this channel, right? And so sometimes y'all gonna look at a video and be like, I don't know who this person is, so I'm not gonna watch it. But I encourage you, when that happens, watch it, because you'll learn something about a player that you never heard of that you want to know more about. So anyway, that's the video. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for rocking with me. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Lots more videos to come. Make sure to subscribe. We are on our road to 30,000 subscribers. I don't know if we'll ever get there, but we'll try. We will absolutely try. Anyway, appreciate y'all. Trade of the year, as of right now. We'll see what else happens. Till next time, guys. How many times I gotta say till next time? Anyway, till next time, guys. Bye-bye.